Behind the screens for many, people suffer from mental health issues. Many experience this. Many still are. Do you ever feel like life is a game you're losing? You're not alone. Safe in our world.
Just fake it. I only know how to pull myself apart. Run away, out of time. Find a place where I can never hide. I let it run, change, or even strive. Let it burn, I'll never be coming back, 'cause I'm losing my mind.
Welcome everybody, and I'm so excited to let you know, welcome here to round 7, the finale, ESDA presented by Traxion here in Irwindale, California, in partnership as well. It's a charity event today, everybody. Safe in Our World. We're raising money for charity, a mental health charity for gamers by gamers. I'm so excited to be here today in the booth with Ian Plash, Strix9 Pulse Tricks behind the ones and twos, our production assistant Hayden Rigsby, and of course our 3 ever stoic judges, Harold McKinney, a judge formerly known as Brady, and Doug Armiston. And you might be asking, where's Keenan? Well, Keenan told me to get in this box when we were down there in Japan and flew us all the way, it was so long in a box, all the way across the ocean to southern, beautiful, sunny Irwindale, California, a coliseum of drift, one of the most iconic tracks, dare I say it, in drifting. And why is it so iconic? It's so simple. There are 2 wall rides, 3 wall rides, a couple of full speed inside clips, only 2 minor decel zones, and the drivers can just throw it into that outside zone 1, keep it there forever, cut in tight, again, second wall ride, cut it in tight again, and then another wall ride and power out across the finish line. So Ian, I hear that this season is just popping off. It's crazy.
Well, as we all know here on TraxionGG, as you watch all season long, the battle has been fierce. The point scenario is getting close. We'll run into that a little bit later. And in regards to that crate thing, Joe, at least it was a free flight. At least it's a free flight. Remember, today, Austin Zalewski, yesterday, if you watch here in qualifying, with the score of a 97, putting on a clinic on how to get it done here with the Irwindale Speedway, running an all but perfect qualifying line. And that is number 1 seed of qualifying. They are one of the favorites by far to get it done today. As you take a look on the replay, just what it took to get it done. You can watch the perfection of this run, how they throw it into the first corner with such commitment and style. A small brake adjustment was made on the initiation, but other than that, you're going to see this car in every zone, tons of angles, so much commitment, speed, throttle control, and just look at the beauty of that initiation into outer zone number 2 as well. Zalewski knows how to get it done. They're going to be fierce today. That A90 Supra is going to be an absolute weapon, and I'm super looking forward to running deeper into this bracket as we work our way through today's competition, Joe.
Oh, I do have to say it, and all of the drivers today, this season. This is the finale. The drivers are in it to win it. And we have multiple people in contention. As we saw earlier, Austin Zalewski, A to Z, he can actually take a win today if our current points leader doesn't show up. So let's take a look at those points, Ian.
Oh boy, so you're taking a look as it is right now. Technically speaking, before 32 has gone off, Zalewski still has a chance to win the championship. But as soon as Alexander Element runs their first battle, they get 20 points. Zalewski is unfortunately, after running first seed in qualifying, going to be out of contention to get this championship win. As we are right now, theoretically speaking, Mustafa, Darius, and Alexander Element, all three have the best theoretical chance at getting this championship done. And as soon as we get through what it takes to get through a championship battle, show off our amazing prizes here at TraxionGG's for ESDA's round number 7, we're going to delve deep into how these point scenarios are going to lay out, because I'm telling you, Joe, we have some incredibly and realistic chances at very close point situations.
So what are these drivers competing for? More than just prestige, more than just points, more than just a pro license next season. I heard that our good buddy Devin has a list of what these drivers are competing for.
This season's competitors will be battling for a slice of the $1,600 money pool and a whole lot more thanks to our sponsors. This year's $300 top team and $100 Rookie of the Year prizes are presented by Big Duck Club. The Rookie of the Year will also win a Wheel Stand 2.0 from Next Level Racing. The season champion will be awarded $600 in addition to the FGT Elite Simulation Chassis and ERS1 seat from Next Level Racing, an R16 wheelbase RS Racing Wheel, CRP pedals, and RM Digital Dash from Moza Racing, and an Akina handbrake from 3D Wrap. Second place will be awarded $400 and an FGT Simulator cockpit from Next Level Racing. ESDA would like to thank our sponsors for supporting esports drifting, and viewers like you for watching our competition. Thank you. Now back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Devin. Awesome prizes from our awesome sponsors. And I think we are getting word about a couple other interesting things. And here we go. We are ready to rip. Austin Zalewski in the lead. Rashendi Andrea in the chase. Supra on Sylvia action. Ooh, Rashendi Andrea kind of chokes himself out on the initiation, but just shakes it off, tucks right on in. Austin Zalewski just laying down a heater of a lead run. Huge angle, putting in a gap through that inside clip, but Rashendi Andrea shakes it off again, tries to claw up to that Supra's door through the second inside clip, through the transition, keeping his nose out of trouble, and again, tucking right up on the door, and this is as close as he's gotten the entire run. Austin Zalewski, as much as I hate the fitment on that car, I have to say that thing is amazing.
Yeah, your number 1 seed, Austin Zalewski. Remember, until Element runs their first battle in 32, they are still mathematically within contention of this championship, so they need to give it all they got in the first corner of the bracket while they're here to keep the fate in their hands in case something insane happens to either end. That's an interesting way to start for battle, initiating kind of low in the chase, running the wall very well is Rashendi, but really not matching the tire tracks as Zalewski in the chase position. Proximity is nice, transitioning across the bumper and keeping it incredibly close, running it safe, putting the car where it needs to be and almost making contact through outer zone number 2. There might have been a slight touch there through the section of the course, but unsettled in chase is Zalewski here, maybe playing it a little too safe, running it a little bit on the inside line as well, and beautifully run all the way on the outside wall is Rashendi Andrea to close out their final run. Judges for you very soon. So between Austin Zalewski and Rashendi Andrea, they just have made a call.
And here we go.
Zalewski and right for Rashendi Andrea.
We're gonna slide him left, right, or keep him center, and let's go. 1 for Austin Zalewski. Brady goes for Austin Zalewski. And a unanimous decision for Austin Zalewski, taking the win, swallowing those small little mistakes. I bet we're not going to see those again in the top 16. But before we get there, we're having our next battle of Ernestus Ukabellis up against Jack Lai, our 16 and 17 seeds. So our team championship in qualifying alone, that's how consistent they are in the lead up against Jack Lai in a gorgeous A80 Supra. And they're revving up. I think everyone is ready to rip here. Everyone's so excited. The energy is in the air here at Irwindale. And here we go. Ernestus Ukabellis in the lead. Jack Lai in the chase. Great initiation. Jack Lai putting it right up on the door already. Ernestus Ukabellis keeping it right where he needs to in the entire lead. Huge transition. Excellent through the decel zone, keeping it clean, and that ascent super right on the door of Yuka Bellis, but Yuka Bellis on a phase tucks it perfectly into that inside clip. Jack Lai keeping it out of danger through the transition, and again, this is even closer than the first battle. Both drivers didn't give the judges anything going to be in determining who wins.
Yeah, so off the line, Ernestus and Chase, Jack Lai in the lead position. Second half of your second battle, initiating very far inside again as Ernestus Jacob Ballas. It's going to allow them to close in the door, get the proximity back into Chase. Not quite matching the angle through the bank, though. Gets in on the door on the exit of outer zone 1, transitioning very close, but again, off sequence and a little inside in the Chase position is Ernestus, not doing as good of a job to match the angle as Jack Lai, throwing it big in that Mark IV Supra in the lead position, putting down a solid line. Ernestus trying to get it and close back in, a slight bit of contact even in outer zone number 3, making that car very close in proximity.
As we're gonna slide him left for Ernestus Yucabellis on Erta Esports, slide it right for Jack Lai on Team Ascent, in the middle for an OMT. And which way are our judges going to go? 1, 2, and a clean sweep for Jack Lai, moving on, and he will be taking on Austin Zalewski. A90 versus A80 in the top 16. That's going to be a battle. And that's one of the beautiful things to me about drifting. I love seeing all of this difference between cars and competitors and see what they bring up and have it be that close. As the engines are revving, we're getting ready, and we are off. That E30 squats down as Kazuki in that R35 throws it right up onto that BMW's door. A little bit of bobbling, but Peter Plinkwood's unfazed in the lead, putting it right up on that bumper, throwing it into the wall in outside zone 2, catching right on up. There we go, cutting in nice and tight into that inside clip. Both drivers, Kazuki Fukushi, just a little bit less angle, but other than that, he's right on that door, keeping it very, very consistent from start to end. Overall, both drivers, a little bit of wavering. Get ready for run number 2.
All right, run number 2 off the line. Kazuki fires off that R35 GTR. Almost off cadence initiation. The change position. Peter not quite ready for that angle that came at the point down the straight. Maybe a little bit of a straighten on that initiation as well. Peter keeping in the door, though. Not quite matching that massive angle for Kazuki up in the lead position. Very similar to the last run. Putting in the doors. Contact on the wall. Kazuki catching the right rear on the wall just a little bit. That's a mistake in the lead. That's going to hurt that lead for lead comparison. Peter trying to keep it within the picture as they close it out through outer zone at number 3, a little further back through the corner, it must be said, though. And based on the offsetting mistakes and the mistakes in lead for lead, chase for chase, there's one the judges is favor. But slide on left or right for your winner on this battle.
As we have 1 for Peter, 2 for Peter, and 3 for Peter. Unanimous decision. He will be moving on to the top 16. But who will he battle? It'll be the winner of this next one, Cameron Mustard and Vicaris Alukas. Another Erta Esports member, great drivers, and I'm sure that they are just having fun today knowing that they won the team battle.
Rack them, re-rack them, run it one more time.
And I can't fault anyone. And honestly, for us, we get to watch a great battle again. So I'm not going to complain at all. As we're lined up, the drivers already go. Now they both know how hard they can drive as well. I expect a very, very aggressive run from both drivers. And here we go, Cameron Mustard in the lead. Vicaris Lucas in the chase and tucking right up in on that door. Cameron Mustard was basically a Control-C, Control-V of that first run. Vicaris Lucas right up on that door, just tucking it right on in through the transition, super close, almost cutting off his front bumper on that transition. Again, right on the wall for both drivers, cutting it as close as they can on that inside clip, keeping his nose out of trouble. Again, right on Cameron Mustard's sword. Cameron Mustard just laying down a beautiful lead run, allowing Vicaris to get right in there. And Ian, and I think we're getting ready to go.
Yep, swapping back around Vicaris to get their shot at the lead. Cameron Mustard in the chase position. Second half of your final top 32 battle in lobby number 1, initiating very far inside as Cameron Mustard has to do some weird jostling to get that car back up in the pocket. Will do just that. Does a good job getting the car back in the door, but that was a pretty big mistake in the chase position. Falling back a little bit into inner zone 3 and has to cut the line again to put it back in the door. Vicaris running a clinic in the lead position with so much style and angle in their Nissan Silvia and putting the car where it needs to be throughout the entirety of the battle. Cameron Mustard doing their best to make something of it to close out this run, but those offsetting chases, gotta believe.
The judges can laugh. I'm just confused. I have 1 brain cell, and I'm talking faster than it goes anyway. As we'll slide it left for Cameron Mustard, slide it right for Vicaris Lucas, keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and a unanimous decision for Vaqueros Lucas, moving on to our top 16, and he will take on Peter Polinkowitz. But first, Austin Zalewski versus Jack Lai, Battle of the Supras.
Yeah, this is going to be the Mark IV versus A90 Super Battle, your first top 6
One way to find out.
With the white and red accents, mind you.
Yeah, right. We're doing well. Old timer versus new hot boy. Let's line them up. Austin Zalewski in the lead, Jack Lai in the chase. This is a battle I've been looking forward to, as Austin Zalewski, very clean initiation, but Jack Lai, no chill, cutting in a little bit shallow on that initiation. Austin Zalewski taking a little bit of angle to keep it out of the wall, and Jack Lai capitalizing on that and just tucking it right back in. Again, a very long car, the Mark IV Super, but keeping that nose out of trouble through the transitions. Again, inside clipped, Austin Zalewski seems to have settled down in the lead as Jack Lai tucks it right up on the door, but a little bit too much, has to get on the brakes and lay off. Sometimes you send it in a little too hot, and you have to overcorrect to just keep
Picture, not keep it with any mistakes, and they have a hair's breadth shot at walking away from this battle as a victor. We're gonna go ahead and swap them around. Jack Lai gonna get their shot at the lead. Zalewski in the chase. This super on super black, white, and red battle. Top to bottom, matching cars, matching names, matching colors even. Austin gonna be really safe for that initiation, the chase position. Initiate low, get back in on the door. Jack Lai running out of zone 1 beautifully, transitioning across the bumper in the chase position. Ripping it incredibly close. Austin Zalewski making sure there is not an opportunity for the judges to have any calls being made with a differentiation in the chase at least, but almost contact, pushing through interclip number 2, maybe even a small slight touch through that section of the course. Austin Zalewski, no chill in that chase position, putting it on Jack, saying, hey, you want aggression in the chase position?
chip if Alexander Element doesn't show up.
Correct.
So,
he's unable to run, then yes, he can win the championship with a win on this battle. But first, you got to get through this 16. Is it going to be Zalewski? Is it going to be Jack Lai? Slide him left for the A90, slide him right for the Mark IV. Survey says 1 for Austin. I'll let you do it, Joe.
I don't care. 2, 3. I just do it. So I always start. Here we go. If you want, you can read them, you know, Ian. Like, it's okay.
Oh, no, it's quite okay. You do your thing. You do your thing. You're good.
We can do our thing together.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh. As up next.
Your grade 8. Next battle on the table.
And here we go. We are lined up, ready to go. They're revving up. And Mr. Lightboy has gone. Here we go. Peter Polinkowitz up against Vaqueros Lucas. Huge initiation from Vaqueros, throwing it in out of nowhere. Peter Polinkowitz a little bit slower into the initiation, but now they are right next to each other. Let's see what happens as they go through this inside clip, tucking the car right up on the beautiful chase from Vaqueros Lucas. Peter Polinkowitz, sturdy as a rock, in the lead. It is not a Chevy coming on through. Tucking it on the door again. Vaqueros Lucas wants it today. Peter Polinkowitz is doing everything he can in the lead. That was a beautiful lead, but Vaqueros Lucas is going up.
Will be in chase, and if anything is to show for from run number 1, Peter has a little bit of work cut out for them in that chase position. They're able to do it, though. We saw earlier with the proximity in their top 32 battle. What are they going to have again in the chase position for their second attempt at it? Here we go, top 16 battle, lobby number 1, big flake initiation for Vaqueros in the lead. Right in the pocket is Peter Polinkowitz, and he will put it in the door, but a slight fallback, a slight bobble, thanks to that little slight bit of aggression, off cadence a little bit on that transition. Third clip number 1. He's going to put it on the door, be aggressive with it, but falling back a little bit of contact in the outside wall. Vaqueros doing the same thing we saw earlier in 32. That is not going to be favorable in their side. Vaqueros needs to do something special in the final zone as well. Peter putting it in on the door, but now the judges have something to talk about there with 2 mistakes there. Given away actually based on the money that was donated yesterday, I'm getting told. So
we made so much.
But yes, the gloves have been given away, but please, you have any money to give, please do. But here we go, left or right? Or are we going one more time? What the judges have to say about this battle.
1 OMT, 2 OMTs, and 3 OMTs. So I guess a wall tap is enough to wipe that stank off your face, if you will. As we are going to line them back up, Peter Polinkowitz is going to lead Vaqueros Lucas, and I think we're going to see it,
though. Complete fresh blank slate. We'll see if they can get through it cleanly this time. And yeah, looks like that touch on the wall was enough to set it one more time.
And here we go. Peter Polinkowitz in the lead. Vaqueros Lucas in the chase. He has shown that his chases are nothing but aggressive. And again, right on that door, Peter Palinkwitz putting down a very, very, very clean lead run to allow Vicaris Lucas to take in here. Vicaris Lucas just making sure he doesn't take the front bumper off. Again, right up on that wall. That he is so amazing in that transition to outside zone number 2. Peter Palinkwitz keeping his head down, keeping his car very, very consistent in the lead, making sure the judges can't take any points off. But Vicaris Lucas really going 11 out of 10 in that chase. Peter Palinkwitz, an amazing lead run.
Peter going to get their opportunity then to try to smoothen it out in chase and see if they can't take the win here. There's definitely some points on the table in the chase in comparison. Vicaris up in the lead position needs to run sure, not run sure, I can English, I swear. They need to make sure they're able to get through the run without that wall contact this time. Run that solid lead because Peter threw down one heck of a lead, and that's a good way to start it off for Vicaris in the lead position. A little bit of a shallowing in the chase position again for Peter. Very unsettled in the chase position, comparable to what happened in run number 1. Really shallow the inner clip 1, but keeps it very tight in proximity. That wagon pushing in on the door as Vicaris running outer zone 2 beautifully throughout the course. Right in the door again, Peter pushing in through the inner clip, has to fall back. Comes back in for outer zone number 3 and matches the angle beautifully through the final zone. Give it up for both of these drivers.
Peter Palinkwitz, we're going to slide him right for Vicaris Lucas. We're going to keep him right in the middle for an OMT. Who's going to go on to take on Austin Zalewski, a man who seems unstoppable? 1 for Vicaris Lucas, 2 and 3 for Vicaris Lucas, going on to our top 8 battle here in Group 1, Next Level Racing Group 1, Round 7 ESDA. And
your final battle of the Next Level Racing Group number 1 here for the final round of ESDA.
Here we go, Austin Zalewski, Vicaris Lucas, 2 men who look like their cars are on rails and super fast all weekend. And just as we go, perfect initiation from both drivers, keeping it right in the pocket in the chase. Vicaris Lucas, Austin Zalewski right up against the wall, giving it all he's got because he knows that he is a freight train behind him, going into outside zone number 2. Vicaris Lucas having to cheat up almost just to avoid contact. It's not even just keep up, it's just trying to keep his nose out of that Supra's door all the way. And again, right up on the door, they could be just touching each other. You could have a stamp transfer from one car to the other car during that run. An amazing run from both.
Tension on the door, but we saw what happened earlier with Zalewski's chase. They're not going to make similar mistakes if they have anything similar in the skill sets in the back pocket compared to their runs today. If they can keep that composure and continue running through today, there are points on the table available in that chase position. What does Vicaris have in the lead? Austin Zalewski going to keep it very far inside on the run up, all the way up to the run. And big flick into the first corner. Big gap opening though, however. That's a big mistake for Zalewski. They're going to do a beautiful job to close it back in, or at least attempt to, but not really able to get it settled in chase position, at least for the first half of the run. Big flicks through the inner clip and a giant angle run into the final corner, or second to last corner, having to give up a little bit of the line as Zalewski in the chase position, pushing into the door, transitioning across the upper through clip 2, back to outer zone 3. Aggression again comes in the form of Austin Zalewski pushing into the door to close out the run to Vicaris, putting down a solid lead.
It's today's first split decision, folks.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so let's see here. Who's going to move on to our final 4? Will it be Austin Zalewski? Will it be Vicaris Lucas or will it be an OMT keeping it in the middle? How are our judges going to vote here? Dye goes for Vicaris Lucas. Brady goes for an OMT. What's it going to be, Doug? And a second OMT. Yep. So we are going to have our second OMT battle of the day. Austin Zalewski up against Vicaris Lucas. And I think everybody except for those two is
so far. And they're only halfway to now our extended 1,000-pound goal. So please throw some bucks their way. Help out the gaming community. It goes so big into the minds of everybody here within the gaming community.
And here we go. Run number 1 of the OMT battle. Vicaris Lucas jumping the line a little bit, but it pays off, putting it right on Austin Zalewski's door, but Austin Zalewski putting it right up against the wall. He is stuck between a car and a hard place in that first outside zone. Huge transition into outside zone number 2. Austin Zalewski even better in his lead this run, but Vicaris Lucas is looking even more confident. He knows where Austin Zalewski is going to go, and he's putting his car right there and across the line, touching doors, even while they're de-initiating.
By Austin Zalewski, now knowing Vicaris was able to keep it composed and clean this time, needs to make an adjustment, perhaps go a little farther up the track on that initiation into outer zone number 1, keep it a little closer in the door, and not have the opportunity of a mistake on this entry to the first corner. So here here it is. One more time through the initiation. They're going to be very aggressive in chase position. Going to set up the cadence correctly this time and lock it in the door. Ooh, a little bit inside of the outer zone was Makaris in the lead, but gets out to the outside beautifully on the second half of the zone to compensate. Transitioning across the upper. Zalewski keeping it in the picture, keeping it tight. Oh, almost over angles in the lead. Recovers nicely and gets right back into the zone, straight back into the pocket. But Zalewski not messing around, keeping it close, keeping the proximity through and through in the door, making contact just about through outer zone number 3. Zalewski with the aggression. Vakaris
Slide it right for Vakaris. Alukas keep it in the middle for an OMT. Who's it gonna be? 1 for Austin Zalewski. 2 for Austin Zalewski, and 3, a unanimous win for Austin Zalewski, moving on the winner of our Next Level Racing group run here at round 7 of ESDA. We're trying to get a judge in here to get a call, just to understand that call a little bit more, because it was so close, and I know personally I'm a big enough nerd that I want to know why that call was made.
It looks like the judges be sleeping out there. They have left the booth to get their break in, so it looks like pipe dream for a triple tie-break scenario, which is never going to happen.
Oh, I would watch it. Mikhail Mordvov in the lead. Vitaly Isayev in the chase. We're getting our go signals from everybody. I'm hearing those engines roar to life. And here we go. Group 2, Battle 1. Mikhail Mordvov up against Vitaly Isayev. Huge initiation from both drivers, and Vitaly sticking it right on that R35's door, but Mikhail Mordvov putting it as close to the wall as we've seen so far in competition today, cutting through that first inside clip right up against the wall. No chill from both drivers. Huge angle for Mikhail Mordvov in that outside zone number 2, but Vitaly unfazed, keeping it right on the door, and let's see how they go through this last outside zone. Vitaly Isayev again right on that R35's door and across the line. Mikhail Mordvov with an exceptional lead. Vitaly Isayev doing nothing.
Moza Racing group number 2 lobby, and off the line we go. Nissan on Nissan action. S15 versus R35 back into corner number 1. Flick initiation up in the lead, fills the zone beautifully. Mikhail running it a little bit inside to keep the proximity and falls back in chase, almost straightening in the chase position, but does a great job recovering that vehicle and not making a mess of it, but keeping it very close in proximity through chase, matching beautifully through outer zone number 2. Mikhail keeping it there, giant angle for Vitaly through inner clip number 2, across the bumper, almost pushing into the back of the S15 was Mikhail on that transition, recovers it beautifully through outer zone number 3, and let's get it on screen, let the fine folks at home know on TraxionGG who is moving on from this battle in the top 32.
We're going to slide him left for Mikhail Mordvov, slide him right for Vitaly Isayev, keep him in the middle for an OMT. Let's see what our judges have to say. 1 for Mikhail Mordvov, 2 for Mikhail, and 3, a unanimous decision for Mikhail Mordvov, moving on to the top 16. But who will he battle? We're about to find out. Joachim Hogue up against Daiki Ichikawa. An excellent battle. Excited to see it. Speaking of which, he's also sponsored by Vosan. Get this track on Vosan when the round is over. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. But first, Joachim Hogue up against Daiki Ichikawa, and off they go. Joachim Hogue in the lead, Daiki Ichikawa in the chase. Big flick from Joachim Hogue as Daiki puts it right up into Joachim Hogue's door through outside zone 1. Joachim Hogue, super solid lead run, really allowing that chase to get caught up and in that door. And let's see how committed they are into outside zone 2. And Joachim Hogue keeping it right on that wall, and Daiki Ichikawa moving in, no chill in the chase whatsoever. Great angle from Joachim Hogue that we have come to know and love, but Daiki Ichikawa capitalizing as much as he possibly can through the entire situation.
In the chase position, this S15 battle, getting back to the line for now, for the time being, they're going to have to do something of it to make sure that, you know, this can at least go down to where the call is going to be based on the mistakes there. But I'd say a lot more composed throughout the first half of this battle was Joachim Hogue. Daiki needs to find some momentum and find some strength going to the second half of this battle. S15's barreling it off into corner number 1, being very aggressive in the chase, but has to fall back a little bit as a result. But matching the angle beautifully in the chase position, knowing they're probably looking at a little bit of an advantage, are not going to be too aggressive with it. Kind of off cadence for that transition on inner clip number 1, and massive style from Daiki, but not nearly as much angle as Joachim Hogue through the section of the course. Joachim really just kind of keeping it in the picture, keeping it safe, making sure they don't zero out their chase with a little bit of aggression on outer zone number 3. Daiki, not a lot of angle, must be set through outer clip number 3 either, as a little bit of post-battle contact going to be made.
ready to rip. And we are ready to rip here. Send them down, and Mustafa Amin's RX-8 is just such a loud car. Here we go, there it is. There's a reason that he is in points contention, and we are off. Mustafa Amin in the lead, Lucas Sasimski in the chase. Big angle on the initiation from Mustafa Amin, but Lucas Sasimski not timid at all, putting it right up on that door, trying to match angle as best as he can. But Mustafa Amin is so fast in that RX-8, and he just has so much angle dialed into that car. But Lucas Sasimski almost making it look easy, keeping right on up, keeping his head down to the grindstone through inside clip number 2, through the last transition, and again right up on the door, hoping to avoid the drama that we saw from last battle and staying out of each other's way.
And they need to run the entire table on lobby number 2, Moza Racing, group number 2, off the line then. Second half of this battle underway. See what happens in the lead position. Big flick initiation. Off into the corner, but it must be said, Lucas pulled a little bit of a gap, and it's straight into the decel through the corner. No, I don't think that's going to be deemed back on Mustafa's fault. I believe there was a decel in the lead position in the spot where it's not supposed to be. That's going to go back to the replay, but I heard that S15 off the power as Mustafa has to make a big correction to not run them over, and that causes a straight, and if I'm not mistaken, that's probably what's going to be seen as another piece of contact being made in the chase, or the lead position rather. Lucas hitting the wall and contact from Mustafa. Let's run back to the replays. This is going to be crazy.
Daniel Andrechev in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase. Winner of this goes on to battle Mustafa Amin in the top 16. Lights out. Here we go. Daniel Andrechev in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase. Huge initiation from Daniel Andrechev. Pavel Gunnin putting it right up on the door, tapping into the wall. I saw Pavel Gunnin tap out Daniel Andrechev into the wall, but Daniel Andrechev, no chill, not letting the run die, keeping it going, and Pavel Gunnin again still not learning his lesson, putting it right up to Daniel Andrechev's door. He could not chase any more aggressive than he is right now, but Daniel Andrechev seems like he could come back from any amount of contact, and showing him why he is winning Rookie of the Year.
Final top 32 battle in lobby number 1.
As we are ready to rip here, I think both drivers now, I'm sure that they are on the edge of their seat. And here we go.
Yep, off the line then. We're going to see who's got what there. Pavel in the lead. Initiates, gets way out to the wall. A little bit of contact being made, but does not lose angle as a result. That was very close to being disaster, and a little unsettled then in that chase position is going to be Daniel, unable to really close it back in until now more contact being made with the outside wall. Oh, Daniel making a little bit of a mess with it in that, sorry, not Daniel. Pavel making a little bit of a mess of it in the lead position this time around. More contact to the outside wall for outer zone number 3. Just not feeling very, Grip says, yeah, they're going to go ahead and just rip it through the exit of the final corner as well. I think they know that they've made just enough mistakes in the lead.
Waiting for that light to blink on and blink off. And here we go. Mikhail Morvanov in the lead, Joachim Hogue in the chase. Their first run of their top 16 battle. Huge angle from Mikhail Morvanov. He blinks on my screen at least. Joachim Hogue now might have some doubt in the back of his mind, but he doesn't let it happen or matter. Puts it right up on that R35's door, tempting the desync gods. Doesn't care at all. Mikhail Morvanov, again, also not concerned in any way, shape, or form. Big angle into this last outside zone. Joachim Hogue with no chill. Mikhail Morvanov not leaving anything on the table in that lead as well. I think overall Joachim Hogue might have lights out, and away we go. Joachim Hogue in the lead in that Vosan S15. Mikhail Morvanov in that R35 in the chase, putting it right up on the door. Joachim Hogue, huge angle, putting in a gap. A little bit of an unsunk initiation from the lead driver and the chase driver here. Joachim Hogue, beautiful transition, huge angle. Mikhail Morvanov having to take a little bit of angle out to stick it right on that S15's door. Was there contact? It looks like Joachim Hogue is spinning. What is this? What is this? What just happened there as we're coming across the line? Joachim Hogue way off track in inside clip number 2 again.
We'll inform you in chat what's going on here during this break. But for the time being, we still got to go through the remainder of these battles. Is now back on the line then. This is your second top 16 battle. Mustafa Amin in the lead, and Daniel Andrechev in the chase position. Remember, after this lobby, Mustafa must run the table, and if they win this battle, they're going to be going against Mikhail Morvanov in the Great 8.
And let's see here, lights out and away we go. Mustafa Amin in contention for a season win. Daniel Andrejev trying to maintain his Rookie of the Year standing as well. Big flick from Mustafa Amin, kind of throws Daniel Andrejev off a little bit, but now he's tucking right up into that RX-8 store, taking full advantage of that angle that Mustafa is throwing down. And here's the linchpin move, cutting in Mustafa, great lead. Ooh, kind of having to shallow out though to keep it out of the wall. Daniel Andrejev capitalizing on that mistake. And oh my gosh, Mustafa Amin opening the door for a chink in his armor, if you will, if we're gonna keep making D&D analogies.
If we're gonna advance, easy fellas, easy.
Manifolds are overrated. It's a what is it called? A analog blow-off valve. Come on. And here we go. Let's rip it.
All right, off the line. Here we go. Daniel in the lead. Mustafa kind of falling back to start off this battle. Has to cut a lot of line to get back in the door, but does so aggressively. Falling back a little bit, though, in the line, at least, as Daniel trying to run away with the big angle. Not necessarily matched by Mustafa there through clip number 1. And really aggressive in chase, so he's going to have to push into the door as smoke billows through the air in outer zone number 2. Transitioning across the bumper. Needs to get back in the door. He's going to do just that. Oh, contact being made just a little bit through outer zone number 3. Oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of talk. This RX-8 rotary screaming through the course and give Mustafa their platform to put on a show for everybody back at home. Maybe.
It wouldn't be ESDA without resets on buy runs.
Wait, now the white's officially. There we go. All right, we're gonna shut our mouths. Let's enjoy this buy run. As here we go.
There we go, Mustafa Amin with his buy run, securing his slot as the third of, though. That's how consistent he is. As we are up to the line.
We've seen that in many other forms of motorsport as well. Consistency is king. You may not always get the wins. I mean, I remember a while ago, even in like the NASCAR side of things, Matt Crafton won a championship without winning a single race all season long. It's impressive what you can do that. Consistency is very important, even in drift.
And let's see, speaking of consistency, Alexander Element with a beautifully perfect initiation. Samuel Cootie is struggling to keep up with that Ferrari, and that Ferrari just dialing more angle and just trying to even show like I can go faster at more angle, and that car is so smooth in the lead. Samuel Cootie finally starting to catch up to that blue door of that Ferrari through the final transition for the two drivers. Putting the gas on, and again, Alexander Element, once he gets settled at angle, he can just, that car just buckles down and takes off. So now,
hats off attempt to Zalewski. Did all they needed to do, but it's not going to be enough as far as the championship goes today. Now, second half of this battle, back on the line, Cootie in the lead, Element in that chase position. Element must be sitting on a pretty sizable advantage there with everything they had gained in the first half of this battle. Now in the chase position, just needs to put it together, stay safe with it, keep himself in the picture. Not necessarily that close, but he wants to use this battle as a solid warm-up. Really beautifully running the lead is Cootie's lead so far in this BMW giant angle through clip number 1 as well. But Element not fazed by any bit of the style being thrown his way, keeping that Ferrari in the pocket, making it known that he's going to keep this thing where it needs to be throughout the entirety of this run, matching beautifully the angle in the final corner as well. Element here to play today.
Left for Alexander Element. We will slide him right for Samuel the Cootie. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. 1 for Alexander Element. 2 and 3 for Alexander Element. Moving on, and who will he take on? It'll be Olivier Blais or Deshaun Hack in the top 16. Great runs from Samuel Cootie. We're going to start hearing these engines rev. Really, really big car, but not so big compared to an S14, it seems. I always forget how big they are comparatively. And here we go, starting to hearing that revving. Who's going to take on Alexander Element here? And lights out to Sean Hack with that popcorn. putting it right up onto that S14. Right on the door. One of the most aggressive initiations we've seen all day from Deshaun Hack, keeping it right on the door for the entirety of outside zone 1. Olivier Blais putting that door wide open, giving him this opportunity. Deshaun Hack having to cheat up inside a little bit to try and stay out of that S14's door as we come through the final inside clip, through the final transition as well. Deshaun Hack again right up on that door. He wants to take on Alexander Elman. He really does. Olivier, oh buddy, you got some
for a reason, very close on the table, but Deshaun, it looks like Olivier is going to back up a little bit and take that same approach even.
Might
so
as
they
well.
know aggression has to be the name of the game.
I think just realigning. And while we're waiting really quick, I want to shout out, we have another donation, 20 pounds from Andy. Love to see a good cause with a great event. Thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate it. We are at 535 pounds right now. We're gonna get that 1,000-pound goal for sure. And now we are lined up and ready for run number 2. Again, thank you to all the donors.
So let's try this again, then switching them back around to Sean in the lead. That's a little bit of an off-cadence initiation. That's a fallback in kind. We'll do just that and get aggressive with it in proximity to the corner. Deshaun, a little lower on the zone, though it must be said. Gets back up to the wall nicely for the second half of the run. But Olivier matching nicely, almost running into the back bumper of that R35 through inner clip number 1. Goes back into outer zone 2, matching angle nicely, falling back just a little bit in proximity to the line. And a small bobble at inner clip number 1, pushing aggressively for outer zone number 3 is all contact with the outside wall of Deshaun Hack, catching that left rear on the outside wall. This is going to be, let's see what's going to happen here. Slide him left or right. Or are we going one more time?
Yep. Left for Olivier Blais, right for Deshaun Hack. OMT right on in the middle here. So 1 for an OMT, 2 and 3 for an OMT, so we will see these two battle again. I think that the judges went back.
Yep. It's like Harold is back in position, ready to go. Drivers are ready. Let's try this one more time.
And here we go. Olivier Blais in that S14. Deshaun Hack in that super loud R35. Big flick to angle from both drivers. Deshaun Hack, no chill. He knows that he can do exactly what he needs to do in this chase, as he has done before. And again, Olivier Blais with an amazing lead run. That car is squatted and it is gripped up. Oh no! Olivier into the wall, and he's into the wall before there's contact. I have to think that that is a zeroed run in the lead, unfortunately, but they do not care. They're making sure the judges have something to judge. And across the line, Olivier Blais, he sent it. He went for
drivers back on the line. Let's try this one more time. Deshaun gonna have to run another solid lead, not make any mistakes. And at this point, Olivier just needs to throw caution to the wind. They need to send it any way that they can in that chase position. Keep it in the door. Stay close with it. They're gonna do all that and more. It looks like Deshaun coming off of outer zone 2. A little early contact being made on the exit of outer zone 2. Even Olivier taking that pressure, applying it like a pressure cooker. More contact being made into outer zone number 2, be it from the inconsistency of Deshaun or Olivier's charge. Not too sure yet. It has to be a talk into the replay, but I'm not seeing any major mistake that's causing heavy contact to the outside wall from Deshaun Hack. Olivier pushing it in where they can, but it may be too little too late. After one.
Slide him left for Olivier Blais. We'll slide him right for Deshaun Hack. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3 for Deshaun Hack. That contact with the wall was the undoing of Olivier. So thank you. Amazing runs from both drivers. Up next, Darius Ostreka up against Artem Lukashenko. Two drivers who like to drive fast.
The championship implications, TM, continue in run number 3. Remember, Darius Ostreka still in the hunt for the championship.
Up against the S14 of Artem Lukashenko. These Urta cars are notoriously fast, so Artem Lukashenko does have his work cut out, but he has been very fast in the past as well. So I'm expecting to see a high energy run here as they are ripping out of that start gate. Darius Ostreka in the lead, big angle. Artem Lukashenko putting it right up on that S15's door, almost with ease, but Darius Ostreka super smooth through that first outside zone. Not a lot of brake at all. Beautiful through that inside zone. A little tap of the brake for Darius Ostreka on that transition, putting a little more angle through that second inside clip. Artem Lukashenko again, putting it right up on that door. No chill through outside zone 3.
Wow.
And across the line, I think Darius Ostreka might get a talking to from the judges about.
All based on the first half of this battle, they're going to have to fight for it. Artem back in that lead position then. Let's try this one more time for the second half of this top 32 battle. This Sylvia on Sylvia action. Exciting stuff here in the finale. Lots on the line here. Darius has to advance to continue his championship hopes. Initiation back into outer zone number 1. Aggressive with the proximity, keeping it in the door, matching beautifully through the center of the corner was Darius. Falling back for this transition. Artem trying to run away with it. Lots of speed being carried through interclip 1, and yeah, I saw it happening right then and there. A little too fast through interclip number 1. Didn't get enough angle poured into the car, and they carried so much momentum back into outer zone number 2, into 3. Anyways, these formalities are done at this point, but they're going to put on a show to finish out the run.
More time here. We'll slide him left for Darius Ostraka. We'll slide him right for Artem Lukashenko. We'll keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1 for Darius, 2 and 3 for Darius Ostraka. Unanimous decision, keeping his season hopes alive. One more time. S14, Vadim Abramov in that IS300 with that rally two-step. That thing is just so gnarly. And here we go. Connor Christensen in the lead, hoping to see his teammate Austin Zalewski in the final 4. But first, he has to win this battle. Big angle for Connor Christensen. Vadim Abramov putting it right up on that door, though. Through the first transition, let's see. Vadim gets super aggressive. Not as aggressive as we saw in last battle, but he's right there.
There it is again.
Christensen, a little tap on the wall. Unfortunately, so far, that's the only mistake from either driver. Both drivers driving perfectly and flawlessly through this outside zone and across the line. And the driving level is just so good. You almost know that you're throwing away a battle.
Christensen had the contact with the wall in outer zone 2 prior to getting to the zone. That's going to be the advantage then in Vadim's court if he can piece together a run. No reset taken this time. Reset taken. Oh, Connor was playing with fire on the initiation, being very aggressive in the chase position, keeping the proximity there, applying the pressure, trying to force a mistake out of Vadim. Vadim almost with contact in that part of the course. I don't know how on earth we got away with that one again. Connor staying aggressive with it, pushed Vadim a little bit wide. Vadim making a mistake on interclip 2, staying wide. Connor putting down the angle, the proximity where they can, even
they want to keep
them
going
through the exit of the course.
Our number 10 seed up against our number 23 seed. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. Let's see. 1 for Vadim, 2 for Vadim, and 3 for Vadim Abramov. Moving on to our top 16, taking on Darius Ostraka. But first, Alexander Element up against Deshaun Hack. This is going to be one of the more aggressive battles of the day for sure. 2 drivers known for their full send, both of them as well. So this is gonna be a battle to say. It'll be interesting to watch, to say anything about it, as they're both revving up. And here we go. Pops, bings, and bangs coming as we get out of that start gate. Big flip.
Oh my God.
No chill, putting it right on the door. I can't tell if they're touching, but it's close. Through it, Alexander Element pouring on the angle. Deshaun Hack putting it right up on the door through the transition on inside clip 2, right up to the wall. Alexander Element, pulling out a bit of a gap. Deshaun Hack struggling for grip through that outside zone number 2, and it seems that Alexander Element just turned on those afterburners and just pulled away in the second half of that track. Deshaun Hack had an amazing start to his run.
How much speed they have in their Ferrari 599. So Deshaun on a disadvantage for sure this time as we switch them back around to the second half. All Alexander really has to do here is be safe with it, stay in the picture. Don't do anything too silly with it, and you got to believe here in the Big Duck Club Group 3, the Alexander Element is sitting on a pretty sizable advantage and keeping their championship hopes in their hands with this potential victory, but you got to get through the second half of this battle to have any shot at just that. Here we go then, initiation. Deshaun Hack throwing an angle at it, coming out of the zone a little bit early, coming down just a bit on the banking, falls back out nicely. Alexander Element is not interested in playing this battle safely. They're going to keep the proximity in the door, throwing down the message to anybody else in this championship fight. Even when it's given to me, they're going to fight for it in any way that they can. Just about making contact into outer zone number 3, pushing into the side of the GTR to close out the run, and Alex has come in. Let's go ahead and give us that call right away and see who is going on into the Great 8.
Slide him left for Alexander Element, slide him right for Deshaun Hack. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. 1 for Alexander Element, 2 and 3 for Alexander Element. Just that Ferrari with the afterburners, man. But who will take him on in the Grade 8? It's going to be either Darius Ostrika or Vadim Abramov. This might turn in.
Trying to continue their championship hopes.
And we are lined up, two rowdy sounding cars on the line here. Darius Ostrika in that awesome Urta Esports S15 already taking the team battle title up against Vadim Abramov in that beautiful IS300. And here we go. No chill from either drivers. Treating it like a drag race in that first corner. Vadim Abramov trying to sneak up to that door of Darius Ostrika. Darius Ostrika with a textbook lead line through that first outside zone, through the transition. Vadim Abramov trying to leave a little bit of space just in case Darius Ostrika gets into the wall, which he does not. They're tapping, coming through inside clip number 2. Again, last transition. Darius Ostrika on a textbook lead run, and Vadim Abramov just tapping him and being right there the entire way.
At this championship here, Darius Ostrika now in chase. Vadim Abramov, not a free victory in that lead position, off the line. Back into the first corner at Irwindale, flicking it in. Big angle. Darius Ostrika shoving it, but very far down the race course, giving up a lot of line for this proximity, but matching the angle beautifully, transitioning across the back bumper and falling back a little bit through clip 1, charging back in for outer zone number 2. Almost contact being made. They're pushing tires into each other. The front wheels going for a tango through outer zone number 2. Contact being made, shredding rubber again through outer zone number 3. Darius Ostrika, what on earth is
for Vadim Abramov, or keep him in the middle for an OMT? And which way will our 3 judges go? 1 for Darius Ostrika, Brady for an OMT, and Doug with the deciding vote. A second OMT they are going to go again, so both of them are going to take tires and line back up and put on that show once again. I bet stress levels are through the roof right now for both drivers. I know I'm stressed out just watching it. If I'm a judge, I'm like, come on, guys. They're already on. They are ready to go. These guys are chomping at the bit. They both know they can drive with each other hard at this point, and we are off. Darius Ostrika in the lead, Vadim Abramov in the chase. Huge angle as Darius Ostrika is just putting on a textbook run so far, but Vadim Abramov putting it right in the pocket. Again, tucking right on in through that transition inside clip number 1, through outside zone number 2, making it look easy as Darius Ostrika, Vadim Abramov choking right on up to that yellow S15. Through that last outside zone, in the lead, Vadim Abramov, no chill, and across the line. Oh my gosh.
Excitement as last time, but it was much more consistent without the deductions that we saw the last time out in the chase position. So now Darius needs to try this again. They need to stay with it. They need to stay in the picture. You gotta go big. You gotta go now, or you are going home. And doing just that is Darius through outer zone number 1. So much proximity and transitioning so close across the bumper of Vadim. Vadim running away with it, almost making contact into outer zone number 2. We almost had the outer wall, playing victim to another battle, but they keep it together. They keep it composed. Darius is pouring on so much pressure through every single zone, and Vadim again doing their best to absorb it as they can. Where
Darius Ostrika slide it right for Vadim Abramov, keep it in the middle for an OMT. Who's taking on Alexander Element? 1 vote for Darius Ostrika, 2 and 3 for Darius Ostrika. Okay, folks, now here we go. This might be one of the deciding battles.
Hey, Joe, here we go.
And I do have to point out, too, a Darius win here is what Mustafa needs as well to clinch the title. So there's a lot of things riding on this battle, and here we go. Yes, as Alexander Element in the lead, Darius Ostrika in the chase. Oh no, Darius Ostrika losing some angle, falling back behind Alexander Element. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Oh no, Darius fell out of gear.
No, fell out of gear. I know, oh my gosh. I'm speechless right now. No, and I'm sure everyone hates to see it, but unfortunately, mechanical failures do not get a reset.
A lot of line to proximity to outer zone 1. There were so many points on the table left for Darius to potentially strike back. But that you cannot really come back from a 0 in the chase unless there is a comparable mistake that just now happens for Alexander Element. This is not over yet. It's not over to the Fat Lady Sings, and they're going to have to just be consistent. Darius needs to do all they can, put down a baller 100-point run, and force a mistake in chase out of Alexander Element. The ball is in their court. How is this going to go? Darius running it as they have been all day long with a ton of angle and style. Big angle and interclip number 1 as well, and throwing it big into outer zone 2. Alexander keeping it in the picture, trying not to be too aggressive with it, not make a fault in the chase, and they were going to be able to advance, and Darius is going to loop it. He knows it is over, unfortunately. What an attempt. What a try, chat. Give it up for Darius Ostrika giving us
Our final 4.
Did you?
Did you? I was like, I was saying I was very confused.
Our producer is feeding us bold-faced lies like that.
I'm being
yeah, okay. Let's make it formal. Here we go. Then slide it left for hell of it. They're defending themselves. Anywho, let's go ahead and then officially show everyone at home what the call is. Yes, all 3 to the left. Alexander Element will go on, and that does not mean the championship is done yet, but that makes the path
Our world. So thank you very much again for hanging out. And I think we're lining up. We're ready to go. And okay, so again, Brandon Gardner starting way back, trying to get a jump on this Ferrari, and let's see if it pays off. As Artem Chilkov in the lead, Brandon Gardner in the chase. Brandon Gardner no chill on initiation, keeping right on up to that Ferrari. And it seems that Artem Chilkov bounced off the wall just a little bit there through outside zone 1. Huge angle through the inside clip, hanging onto it somehow. Does he keep it out of the wall? Again, tapping on the wall. Huge angle, but it might be too much. He's choking up the chase, it looks like, as Brandon Gardner just keeps it right on that Ferrari's door. As Artem Chilkov threw more angle on that run than anyone else today, I think.
Yeah, it's
Second one, it starts to choke out the driver as well. And I think that we're hearing rumblings, and here we go.
Yeah, Artem Chilkov in the chase position. Brandon Gardner needs to piece together something nice. That TSC entry up in lead position. Throwing it big. Sliding with the culture. Needless to say, and all over the side of the door is Artem Chilkov. A little bit of contact being made there actually in the second half of the first outer zone. Massive flick in the lead position. Oh, that's an aggressive charge. Contact being made. Artem Chilkov pushing in again. More contact being made as Brandon Gardner will straighten as a result. You have to go back on the replay on that one to see what exactly the call is going to be, but there is definitely a case where you could say Artem has potentially just pushed Brandon Gardner into 2 independent mistakes that have a decision, and Dai will be coming in to explain this one. So please slide him left or slide him right.
Or keep him in the middle for an OMT. Artem Chilkov or Brandon Gardner. What's it going to be? 1 for Brandon Gardner. 2 for Brandon Gardner, securing him the win, and 3, a unanimous decision for Brandon Gardner. And I hear the lovely footsteps of a light-footed man named Harold McKinney. Hello.
Yep.
Round. I think. Memory serves, but I have the memory of a newt. And here we go. Jared DeVore in the lead. Zach O'Sullivan in the chase. Big angle, big limiters for both drivers. Jared DeVore with a great line. Zach O'Sullivan having to cut in a little tiny bit to keep up, but Jared DeVore does not care. Bang that limiter through the transition.
Whoa.
Flames coming out. Jared DeVore keeping it right on the wall. Zach O'Sullivan totally chill, cool, calm, and collected in the chase, giving him space for the final transition. And amazing runs from both drivers and across the line. They don't want to finish tandeming. What a run drive. That's what that is. And we are lined up. I think we're ready to go here.
Yeah, lights are on, lights are out. Let's try it again. Jared DeVore switches around. He'll be in the chase position now. Zach O'Sullivan in the lead. Big flick initiation all over the side of the door as Jared DeVore falls back a little bit and quite inside on the bank as well. Not really matching that line, but very close on that transition through the power zone and over the interclip. Now outer zone number 2. Falling back a little bit, a couple of bobbles here and there. A solid lead for Zach O'Sullivan so far in their Supra. Jared DeVore staying aggressive, staying in the picture, and almost over angles a little bit. Has to make a correction in the chase position and charges back in late to close it out. But Zach O'Sullivan with a beautiful at him left or right. Or we can go one more time on this top 32 battle here at Irwindale for the final round of the season.
Left for Jared DeVore, right for Zach O'Sullivan. OMT in the middle. Let's see what we have. Die with an OMT. Brady for Jared DeVore. And Doug breaking that tie into another OMT, so we will run them again. Jared DeVore will lead Zach O'Sullivan in an OMT battle to see who goes up against Brandon Gardner.
And I think this time the adjustment that needs to be made is Will Travers
Up and ready to go. Jared DeVore off the line, and they are ripping through there. Zach O'Sullivan already alongside Jared in that Infinity, right up on the wall again.
Oh,
Coming in close, some contact in the chase, resulting in the leader tapping the wall, but they're both professionals. They're gonna roll with it anyway. Let's see what happens here. Here's where the drama might happen. Zach O'Sullivan really having to choke up to keep up with Jared DeVore in the lead. Jared really running an immaculate lead right now. Zach O'Sullivan struggling, fighting to keep it right up against the wall and across the line. Jared DeVore with a very as we are lined up ready to go. Zach O'Sullivan in the lead, Jared DeVore in the chase.
yeah, let's try this again. This time Jared gonna open up a little bit of a gap off the line. Gonna have to close it back in for outer zone. Number one does that. Kind of has a small bobble though, where he had a brake check in the center. That's a severe loss of proximity. Zach O'Sullivan, tons of angle and style with that Mark IV Super in the lead, flicking it into outer zone number two. DeVore needs to start reeling it in. He's gonna do that at the loss of a little bit of angle, and still not nearly as close as O'Sullivan was in contrast to what happened last time. Almost making contact in the outer zone number three with a really aggressive charge and chase. But I think this one, chase for chase, lead for lead, might be a little more cut and dry.
Jared DeVore will slide him right for Zach O'Sullivan. We will keep him in the middle for an OMT. One for Zach O'Sullivan. 2 and 3. An excellent, excellent call. So Zach O'Sullivan moves on and has to take on Surreal. Oh, I'm trying so hard.
There you go.
Liuka. Oh, you can say it 10 times, but I'll forget it in 30 seconds here as we are getting ready to go. Wayne Ebanks up against Pagliuca. I'm going to say it just to remember it now, and we are off R34 on S14.9. Here we go. Big angle. Pagliuca putting it right up on the door, having to choke in a little bit. Wayne Ebanks with them blinkers on, keeping it super, super calm and collected in the lead as we've come to see Pagliuca having to choke up not to make contact with that leader in the R34. And Pagliuca again matching angle very beautifully in the chase. Wayne Ebanks though looking so calm from top to bottom on this run, and Pagliuca leaving a little bit of wiggle room in that chase.
Was in Wayne Ebanks' court to at least seal the deal in the chase, to improve on what Pagliuca could not in their chase. And Pagliuca up in the lead now, trying to run away with it. Not a big of a gap in the initiation. Quain making sure they are in the door, and oh my goodness, are they ever matching that angle and proximity to boot through that section of the course. Bigfoot transition up in the lead, gonna go back to outer zone number 2. Pagliuca trying to run away with it, flirting with disaster on that outside wall. Beautiful lead, but Quain not letting it get to their head at all. Pagliuca, oh, contact being made there. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Talking points there as contact was made on that transition. Quain recovering nicely, but it didn't really affect.
Call. And let's see here. We'll slide him left for Quain Ebanks, slide him right for Pagliuca Surreal. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1 for Quain, 2 for Quain Ebanks, and a unanimous decision for Quain Ebanks, as I think Ian just popped over to learn why. If I don't know. I'm not sure. As we are lined up, and I do think that it was just that little contact
in their run, so therefore they don't think that mistake was enough to offset the surmounted pile of mistakes from the chase of run number 1, and that will then be Pagliuca dropping as a result. So that is actually a fair call, and overall the same. Pagliuca did have more mistakes, so that is a fair assessment.
Again, very good judging calls there, as now we have Funny the Honey up against Robert Kwasinski in the only Nissan C we have in competition. and having a very awkward entry overall, but Thwadwad unfazed. A very, very textbook entry. Huge angle through inside clip. Robert Kwasinski having to slam on the brakes to stay out of the way on that transition and does it successfully. Puts it right on the door, trying to make up for that slow initiation through the last outside zone, right up on that S15's door. Robert Kwasinski, no chill. As soon as he got into it, he was in it.
A shot at the chase. And we're going to see what Robert does in the lead position.
And Thunny the Honey, another one of our rookie contenders, Rookie of the Year drivers, has grown amazingly as a driver for the entirety of the season, and I am excited to see this chase. And then we might see 2 season contenders for that after this battle.
Yeah, so we're going to see how it is this time around. Another Nissan battle, but a different type of chassis. Big initiation up at the lead. Robert throwing in the angle, keeping that thing glued to the outside, but no mistake made in chase this time. Thunny the Honey keeping it real, keeping it close, transitioning aggressively across the back, has to close in a little bit of the line to get the proximity back. Oh, a bobble in the lead for Robert. Be a little bit of contact or an adjustment, but that was definitely a mistake up in the lead. And the S15 all over the side of this 370Z in the lead position. A little bit of post-contact to boot because, well, why not? Not necessarily like a left or right thing, but they held the angle weirdly. Then they threw an angle later, but well beyond the initiation zone. And yes, all 3 going to the left side of the bracket. Robert Kwasinski is going to go down here, and Thunny the Honey moving on to top 16. Hey, that was your last top 32 battle of the season, chat.
Yep. Congrats. We made it. As we are moving on now to our top 16.
Hey, here we go. This is a throwback to days of old here in ESDA. We got a...
And now, take 2, run 1.5. And here we go. Zach O'Sullivan in the lead. Brandon Gardner in the chase.
There you go.
Here, big flick from Zach O'Sullivan. Brandon Gardner, no chill. Definitely some hinkiness there, as I think Brandon Gardner was struggling to keep it close while not making contact through the transitions into the wall. Zach O'Sullivan, again, no chill at all, as Brandon Gardner trying to put it right up on that Super's door. Zach O'Sullivan kind of choking it off through that inside clip, but now we're going to do Zach O'Sullivan into the wall and across the line. A little bit sloppy, boys.
Speaking of sloppiness of that battle,
dude, it's a good one. My grandma from Michigan would always say it. I don't know if it's from there, but that's where I heard it.
I don't know if it's even a word. We're gonna try it again though. Is not correct on screen. This is Brandon Gardner in the lead and Zach O'Sullivan in the chase position. Zach gonna give up a little bit of the line down towards the bottom side of the racetrack. He's trying to push in the aggression on the proximity at least. Unable to do just that. Yeah, but transitions across the bumper super aggressively. Brandon throws it in outer zone number 2. Zach O'Sullivan making a little bit of contact, making it know that, hey, this Mark IV Supra is still here, still in the picture, almost knocking out the front clip. But I imagine if I could think they did through clip number 2. Gonna push it back into the door, be aggressive with it, try to get back any points that they can. They're gonna keep the drift going after the zone because, but yes, a call has been made. Where's it going?
It will be slide him left for Brandon Gardner, slide him right for Zach O'Sullivan. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. And let's see where we find ourselves. 1 OMT. 1 for Brandon Gardner. And a second OMT. So the gruesome twosome gets to do another battle right now. So line them back up.
Let's go. Holy crap. Yeah,
Brandon
no, it's
Gardner,
really this time, and Brandon can get themselves in the spot they want to be off the line to make it happen and initiate properly. And we'll see if Zach can clean up the mistakes they had in the lead the last time as well.
And here we go. Take 2. It's technically like take 5 right now. So Zach O'Sullivan in the lead. Brandon Gardner in the chase. Here we go. Big angle. Brandon Gardner feeling a lot more confident in this OMT as Zach O'Sullivan in the lead. Looking very cool, calm, collected. There we go.
There it is.
Excellent. Brandon Gardner putting it right on the door, but Zach O'Sullivan giving him the lead that's allowing him to do it, keeping it. Again, Zach O'Sullivan cleaning up all the mistakes that he made in his lead the first time, and Brandon Gardner cleaning up all of his mistakes too, unintentionally making it. order for the judges across the line. Both drivers ironed out all of their mistakes so far.
Judges a little less to think about here as we go back on the second half of this battle. To the line, engines revving up, lights coming on, off the line, away we go. Brandon Gardner now in the lead. Zach O'Sullivan not taking a reset. We can get this thing going and running off smoothly. Yes, the proximity is good in the chase position for Zach O'Sullivan. The angle to boot as well, matching beautifully through the exit of outer zone number 1, flicking across the transition and back into outer zone number 2. A bubble made and a charge being made. Heavy contact up and over goes Brandon Gardner on outer zone number 2. This is the battle that doesn't. Vision has come in and we appear to be, I'm just going to spoil it. We appear to be wrong.
We're idiots. It's okay. So we'll slide him left for Brandon Gardner, slide him right for Zach O'Sullivan, keep him in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3 for Brandon Gardner. I bet they watched the inputs and everything and just determined that that's at fault. So those two, at least those two, they can go like swing on each other at the whole time. As moving on, Brandon Gardner will be in the top 8, but who will he? Lined up, Gawain Ebanks in the lead, Funny the Honey in the chase. And here we go. Funny the Honey with a great jump off of the line. Gawain Ebanks super mellow with his blinkers on. Great initiation from Gawain Ebanks. Funny the Honey trying to flip that car up to get a little bit deeper in the zone, but he does have good proximity. Again, Gawain Ebanks is like a machine today. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him get his first win ever here today. Again, he's looking cool, calm, collected. Funny the Honey right up on the door there through the inside clip, which is always hard to do. And finally settling in and across the line. 2 drives are amazing.
Gorgeous is now. We'll switch him back around. Funny back in the lead. R34 of Gawain Ebanks back in that chase position. This is your final top 16 battle of the season. Only one more battle left after this one to decide who is going to be joining that ever so exciting Final 4 lobby. Off the line, Gawain and Chase. Funny up in the lead. Initiation for that S15. Big angle, big flick up in the lead. Holding it beautifully up in the lead. Gawain matching incredibly well, and Chase starts to fall back a little bit on the exit, but still keeping himself in the picture. Oh, that was a ton of angle for the lead up through the inner clip. Looks like Gawain doing their best to match that in the chase. Small bits of aggression and charging through inner clip 2 and transitioning back across the bumper. Falls back though as a result of that little bit of a over aggressive chase through inner clips. You gotta be careful with that. It does end up causing you a lot of problems.
The judges knew what they saw, knew what they liked, and both drivers were doing donuts earlier. They really very much had fun during that one. So we'll slide it left for Gawain Ebanks, slide it right for Funny the Honey. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3. Unanimous decision for Gawain Ebanks, making it into the Great 8. Great for him. Great showing from both drivers. Up next, number 30 seed Brandon.
We're just moments away from finding out.
And here we go. We're going to have Gawain Ebanks in the lead. Brandon Gardner in the chase. Let's see who's in it to win it today. Who will fill our final slot in our final 4? Either way, they definitely worked hard to get into that position. We are lined up, ready to go. Lights out. Gawain Ebanks in the lead. Brandon Gardner in the chase. Huge flick initiation in. Gawain Ebanks again having an amazing lead run like he has all day. Brandon Gardner pushing as hard as he can for all the proximity he can.
Wow.
And definitely gaining it. Here we go, right up on the door. No issues at all from both drivers. Both drivers on the limit through the second inside clip. And through the line, Gawain Ebanks. Oh my gosh.
Wow, 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 wow.
And across the line. That was a run.
4.2 putting down lots of excitement. Lots of calls need to be made, lots of reviews. It was definitely not an easy one to get through. Probably our most time-consuming one for sure, but when it comes down to it, the two drivers who have been putting down big are going to be the ones up for grabs on this battle. Who has what it takes to advance? Here we go then. Brandon in the lead. Kuwait not giving a gap into the zone. Giant angle for the Infinity in the lead, but Kuwait E-Banks all over the side of Brandon Gardner through outer zone number 1. Giant flick in the lead. So much style for the Infinity, and Kuwait matching it, but falling back a little bit. Outer zone number 2 needs to reel it back in. Does just that through inner clip number 2, flicking back to then the outer zone, the third and final outer zone. These drivers putting on a show, chat. I know you're loving what you're seeing here today. Which one of these?
There it is. We'll slide him left for Brandon Gardner. Slide him right for Kuwait E-Banks. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. Who's going to take our final 4 slot? 1 for an OMT. 1 for Kuwait E-Banks. And 2 for Kuwait E-Banks, moving on, putting him in to that final 4 position. And there it is. We have our final 4 locked into place. Austin Zalewski versus Mustafa Amin up against Alexander Element and Kuwait E-Banks. This is going to be a final 4 ready to go. The judges are ready to go. I'm ready to go. Ian is shaking. I almost see 2 of them.
I am?
Yeah, you don't even know it. And let's go. As Austin Zalewski is in the lead, Mustafa Amin in the chase. Big angle from Austin Zalewski. Mustafa Amin unfazed, putting it right up on that A90 super door. Perfect driving from both drivers. Drivers who have been waiting for hours at this point to warm back up, and here they are again. Outside zone number 2, almost flawless lead run, and Mustafa Amin taking full advantage of it as well as they go through the final inside clip. Big transition here as they come through the last outside zone and across the line.
Oh my God.
Austin Zalewski with an amazing
keeping the angle matched as well. That's the most impressive part about that chase. Austin Zalewski has it in their back pocket to do that exact same thing, and now after a chase like that, they are going to have to take down Mustafa here. Mustafa set themselves up in such a way that puts the ball in their court, I think, to move on beyond this battle and keep their championship hopes alive. Zalewski now in chase, keeping a very aggressive initiation in the chase position. They're gonna keep it locked on the side, but mismatching the angle just a little bit. The outer zone number 1. Mustafa painting that wall beautifully in black. That back bumper dragging across the wall. Big foot transition, massive angle in outer zone number 2, and this time it'll be Zalewski pushing into the side of the lead driver through the outer zone. Unbelievable scenes here at Irwindale. Mustafa driving with the hopes of their season on the line. Zalewski trying to play spoiler. This is esports drift. This is ESDA.
I think they made the right decision here.
I know they made the right call on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, slider left for Austin Zalewski, slider right for Mustafa Amin. Survey says, oh, Joe, I think you know where this one's going.
1, 2, and 3. OMT. Boys, you're
again.
driving too perfect. Make some mistakes so that there's actually something to do that's different. Because, again, both drivers are just...
Zalewski is that iron wall to get around. They're going to have to do it again.
And here we go. Both drivers banging off the limiter, and we are off in the OMT battle between Austin Zalewski, A to Z, and Mustafa Amin in contention for the win. Keeping it out of each other's way. I don't know how, as Austin Zalewski puts it right on the line. But they keep it going. They don't care. They want to keep driving. A little bouncing never stopped anyone, I guess, on this level as we go into outside zone number 2, making sure the judges have things to talk about through the inside clip. Again, last transition. Austin Zalewski. Oh, no.
Oh, more contact. Oh, no.
No. I told you, we're gonna have catastrophe when you're driving. That be a determination here. That isn't something sad like netcode. And let's see what happens. They're lined up, they're revving up, and they are ready to go.
Yeah, you just gotta keep your chargers in check when so much is on the line there, but you know their hearts are in their stomachs right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's not over yet. We still gotta get through the second half of this battle. The judges need to deliberate. Let's see what Zalewski does in the chase in comparison to Mustafa. Mustafa, put down a 100-point run. Go big or go home. Show them why you are here, why you were in contention, but Zalewski also showing why they scored a 97 on qualifying, also showing why they are one of the most favorited drivers going into this round with so much much proximity and angle matching in the back pocket. This is unreal driving.
Whoa.
Both drivers going big. Zalewski straggling across the rear bumper and matching angle through outer zone number 3 all over the side of Mustafa. Those drivers got to be so hyped in what they just
They're
threw down.
throwing circles. So we're going to slide him left for Austin Zalewski, slide him right for Mustafa Amin, keep in the middle for an OMT. Mustafa Amin must win this round to keep his championship hopes alive.
And what will the judges side on here? That's 1 for Austin. 2 for Austin Zalewski. They will advance. That means your 2022 ESDA champion is Alexander Element, your 2022 Esports Drift Association Drift Champion, presented by Traxion. And what a season they've had. Smooth, consistent.
I think that there might even, I don't know off the top of my head, but Austin Zalewski might be able to take 3rd place even here. We'll see about that. As we are lined up, though, Alexander Element are now named champion up against Kawain Ebanks. An amazing run from 2 amazing drivers. Love the bright colors all the time. And here we go. Alexander Element in the lead, probably feeling so calm right now. So cool, so collected. Kawain Ebanks not going down without a fight, assaulting that door throughout that first outside zone. And again, through this second outside zone, Alexander Element, again, Control-C, Control-V on his runs. Just every lead run is just as perfect as he can make it. Kawain Ebanks struggling a little bit to keep it right up on that door and across the line.
Good
Alexander
stuff.
Element has been dominant all season from round up. Alexander Element giving himself a run up against Kawain Ebanks. Kind of just has to cruise in and keep driving how he has been all day, but Kawain Ebanks has been no slouch in the leads whatsoever, so this should be an excellent run number 2.
Yeah, Kawain's leads have been nothing short of exciting all day long with so much style. Let's see if they can throw it down again. Alexander in the chase. Gonna get up in the door. Oh my goodness, Kawain with that gorgeous line through one. Oh, contact being made. Slight pushes even. Alexander Element getting to the side of Kawain, making their proximity felt. And chase, look at that angle again from Kawain into outer zone number 2. But oh, the proximity is gorgeous. Alexander is here to play. They want this win so bad. They want to get a win on the season. A little bit more contact being made as Kawain having a couple of jank bits there as well to the center of outer clip 3 as a result.
This is just getting us to see who's going to battle for 1st and 2nd and who's going to battle for 3rd. So we're going to slide him left for Alexander Element, slide him right for Kawain Ebanks, keep him in the middle for an OMT. Which one are we going to find ourselves with? 1 for Alexander Element, 2 for Alexander Element, and 3 for Alexander Element.
Oh boy, that sets up an absolute dogfight of a win there. Austin Zalewski versus Alexander Element. And how the point table is lined up right now when we do get to that final.
And about our 2nd through 4th place. And here we go. We're lined up. Mustafa Amin in the lead. Kawain Ebanks in the chase. This is the battle for 3rd place. Do or die. This is the driver's last battle of the season, no matter what they do. And here we go, Mustafa Amin. Big angle. Kawain Ebanks taking full advantage of that angle, getting right up to that RX-8 store, all the way through that outside zone. Big transition. Kawain putting his nose all the way in there, getting right up in the door. No!
Oh!
Kawain Ebanks clipping the wall. Mustafa Amin finishing out his run. That's what you get for driving 10 out of 10, though. An amazing run from Mustafa Amin. Mustafa Amin, let's see here. Does he play it easy? Or does he just throw it right on that R34's door? And there's only one way to find out. And here we go. Kawain Ebanks in the lead. Mustafa Amin in the chase, putting it right up on the wall. Kawain Ebanks has grown so much as a driver. Look at this lead run that he's putting down. Mustafa Amin playing it a little bit safe, knowing that as long as he finishes, he's probably going to take the win. But throwing all the way in. And, oh, I think he's straightened there. I think he's straightened. This might be an OMT. It might be over yet. This is... I think, yeah, he might have just done that on purpose.
No. Nonsense.
Mustafa's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that'd do that, though.
I respect.
Let's see what happens here. Mustafa Amin in the lead. Kawain Ebanks in the chase. Take 2. And here we go. Mustafa Amin in the lead in that RX-8. Queen Ebanks in the chase. Both drivers trying to not have a mistake in the chase like they did last time. And here we go, right on the door. Both drivers really want to win now. Mustafa Amin tapping the wall ever so slightly. Queen Ebanks giving him no chill whatsoever through the danger zone, as we are learning to be today for sure. Right on Mustafa's door. Queen Ebanks cutting it nice and tight through that inside clip. Big angle, big transition, keeping it out of the wall, but beautiful transition from both drivers. Okay, and now we don't know. That
Second place, or they're going to be fighting for scraps on the points table. Ben, here we go. Second half of this battle. Can Mustafa enter in kind? Here we go off the line. RX-8, R34, initiation, big flick. Back by Kuwaini Banks and Mustafa keeping their presence felt in the chase position all over the side of the R34, doing their best to make the judges note. This car is here to mess her up, but no! Unfortunate piece of contact. Oh, Mustafa charging it aggressively. We saw that happen earlier as well with Adam L's that Supra. Oh, this is going to be exciting stuff. This is it, your final battle of the season. Let's send it, drivers. One more fight to go.
And what a fight it is. Both drivers have been looking unbelievable. Heads and shoulders above everybody else today. Austin Zalewski, amazing angle. Alexander Element putting it right on that door. They are just, it kind of looks like they're almost tippy-tapping against each other through that inside clip into Alexander Element, giving a lot of space. That says some confidence about his lead as Austin Zalewski, amazingly, very, very clean lead. And Alexander Element might have given up a little bit too much going into that second outside zone. He's playing it safe because that's where there's all.
And again, Zalewski, they win this battle, they finish second. They lose this battle, they finish fourth. That's a massive prize and money payout discrepancy. They're going to fight for it every way they can. There's that reinitiation, but pretty far back in chase in comparison to what Alexander Element did in their chase. Gosh, Element just running away with it in that Ferrari, but it's going to start to be closed in as Element has to check up on the exit of outer zone 1. Lots of speed being carried. Here comes Zalewski into the door of Element through outer zone number 2. Back to the inner clip. Going to keep it there. Across the bumper, Element running away with it just a little bit. The gap starting to open back up. Zalewski needs to do all they can to make it up, but they cannot overcome that gap discrepancy. We saw it is unanimous. Your third place finisher in round number 7 is your second place Rookie of the Year contender. Ebanks is going to take your third place position, taking down Mustafa and dashing. Oh, there's Mustafa. There they are.
There he is.
Dashing all hopes for Mustafa's second place run, but Kuwaini Ebanks will finish third. And that means there is one more piece of hardware to hand out your victor of round number 7.
And Ian, before you dip and before I announce this, can you make sure that you have the math correct so we can do the top 3 for the season after this announcement as well?
100%. I can tell you the finishing results.
Excellent. So, between Austin Zalewski and Alexander Element, between these monkeys who are just doing a lot of donuts out here, I swear I'm going to take their toys away if they keep acting a fool. Who is it? Our winner today, Alexander Element, takes the season and today's win. There we go, taking his victory laugh. Coming on through. Amazing, amazing runs from every single person.
Fantastic drive for Alexander Element, running it down and taking the victory, silencing all the haters who were saying, well, you can't just win a championship and not win a round. Well, Alexander says, okay, well, here you go. Let me show up big in the final run. He is going to take down that championship. He's going to take the win, and that means your final championship standings in the top 4 will be as follows. Alexander Element will take the championship, and he will take the final round. Austin Zalewski finishing second, unfortunately, will not have enough points to crack the top 3 and will finish fourth. Darius Ostrika on a tiebreaker will take second, and Mustafa will take the third position on the season. Those are your big four. Lots of prizes, money, and rewards for every single one of those drivers. And just a huge shout out to every single person in ESDA, the staff, the drivers, the team, all the fantastic sponsors who have made this season what it was. Traxion as well for coming on board, believing in the vision, and letting us put on one heck of a phenomenal show for everybody out there in Twitch land and YouTube. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I also need to run now before we get to interviews because I have 6 hours of things to do and 3 hours of time to do it. So I have to run. Thank you so much for having me on for this phenomenal finale. It was my honor and a pleasure to replace Keenan, and I hope you're doing well at the wedding, Keenan. We'll be seeing you in just a couple of short months' time for the continuation of Esports Drift Association for the 2023 drift season. Joe, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so
Strix,
much
for production all year long, and I will catch you again later on down the line.
And so I have many fun victims to interview here. Let's start with our fourth place competitor today, just because it works out. Ladies and gentlemen, Mustafa Amin in the booth. Mustafa, today went very well for you. Not 100% how you'd hoped it to, but it went amazing for you. How are you feeling right now?
I feel relieved, really stoked. Today I came in with the mindset of just like having fun, you know?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, again, an amazing season, amazing result for you overall. Do you have anybody to thank or anything like that, just for the season support, this round support, anything like that?
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. I want to shout out the entirety of my Team GX. They always have my back, especially Robert. Like, he might ride or die, like we always, in the gutters and like ups and downs, like he always has my back, and as well the helm and Yasir for helping me set up the car this round. And just like overall, anyone who liked my driving was like saying nice things about me in the chat. I appreciate you all. And yeah, it's been hell of a season. And thank you too, guys, the media guys. You get us hyped on the live stream, and the amazing judges for being on point today.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mustafa. Really, you are an amazing person, amazing character. Great showing today. So excited to see what you and your team have in store for next time. I'm going to send you back up and steal someone else so the bag goes back on your head so you can't find us again. Goodbye.
I bet.
And now we have our third place finisher, Kuwait Ebanks, one of our in the running Rookie of the Year contenders. Kuwait, how are you feeling today with this third place finish?
Feeling too good.
That's great to hear.
All I was hoping for was top 8, and here we are. So I have nothing to say. I'm at a loss for words.
And I have to say, I've been watching you grow as a driver over the season, and it's amazing to see you get into these top fours. Anyone you want to thank? Anything that you really did that helped you gain all of the, because man, you're slaying it now. I don't know how else to say it. So just shout out whoever helped you out. Shout out whoever you wanna.
I'd like to thank the man, the myth, the legend, the most, Deshaun Hack, my teammate.
Excellent.
You know, he's the one I put in all the hours with, and the most practice, tuning, all of it. He's the one that helped me out the most. Obviously, the rest of the team is sent, putting their good few bits to make me who I am, you know. So
for sure.
Just all of Team Ascent.
Well, shout out Team Ascent. Shout out to you as well. Again, it's been amazing to watch you grow as a driver across the season, and an amazing result for you here on the podium. And I can't wait to see you here next season.
You won't miss me. I'll be here.
Excellent. Awesome. The bag goes back on your head, and now I'm taking someone else. Up next, we got Austin Zalewski, our second place finisher. Austin Zalewski, bag off your head. Welcome to the production booth. How are you today? Awesome job.
I'm feeling good that I finally broke my top 8 curse.
Well, you did it with a lot of style. I have to say, this is some of the best driving I've seen you do in all the season, and that's saying a lot. That's already a high bar. Anything change for you this round?
Nothing much. I thought I had to adjust my car normally with my base tune that I have for each round, but I basically stuck it to my good tune and just changed gearing, and that was it.
Well, it definitely showed up. It did showed up, because man, what a run you had today. I was on the edge of my seat watching you drive all day. So anyone that you want to shout out for both your showing in the season, because I believe it is 4th place in 2022 and 2nd place today. So anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out my teammate Connor. for always spotting for me. And also shout out Mustafa for the one more time battle we had. Always fun battling with him.
That was a crazy battle as a spectator, I do have to say. So thank you again so much. We'll put the bag on your head so you can't track us down one more time. And just have a lovely time. I can't wait to see you drive in the 2023 season.
Yeah, can't wait, guys. Thanks.
And so, a silence falls over the track. A silence falls over the production booth. And it really, I want to say just from the bottom of my heart, as someone new to this ESDA family, that overall it has been such an amazing experience to get to know all of these drivers, get to know all of the judges, get to know everybody involved, and really watch these amazing drivers drive on amazing tracks. The production this year has been amazing. Amazing job, Strix. Again, Hayden Rigsby also in the background has been amazing. Getting to know and become friends with Keenan and announce. Same thing with Ian today. And it's just been an amazing season. And I'm sure that as I'm saying so, guys, don't tell him I said nice things about him, but Harold McKinney's here.
Oh man.
Do you have any thoughts about how this season's going?
Yeah, I have a lot right now. Yeah, it went really good. I thought, and this was the second year over here, I think it went much better than it did last year. The driver talent was really good this year from top to bottom. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a rough time having to, judge because it made it for tough calls, but, that's the job of being a judge. So, I enjoyed it this year.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it as well. And I gotta say, I've been cheesing ear to ear for the entirety of this round, especially with how aggressive everyone has been driving. So, do you have anything you want to say looking forward to the next season? Because I do have to say this feels like a very successful season overall.
Yes, so first I just want to, I want to thank everybody first. I want to thank the sponsors. I want to thank Traxion for taking us on this year and helping the media side as well. Really appreciate them. If it wasn't for them, I mean, we don't know where financially wise, we don't know where we'd be at for the media side of things. So really appreciate Traxion. Appreciate Justin. Really appreciate Ben, just everybody from the Traxion side, Raggy, just everybody from that Traxion side. I'd like to thank Moza Racing for supporting as well, for giving us the wheel setups for the first place winner. I'd like to thank Next Level Racing for coming in really big with the stands for first, second, and Rookie of the Year. I'd like to also thank Big Duck Club for the support. I'd like to thank that's who I'm forgetting. Thank Vosan. Can't forget Vosan. Yep. Like to thank Vosan. Thank the whole team from over there at Matt. Also, the track should be going live here, public.
Just did, literally right now.
Yeah. And so I'd like to thank Vosan. They've been really supportive of everything, and they've been making really big news in the Settle community. I'd like to thank VDC. Really appreciate them for another year of kindly letting us use their physics. Going down the staff side of things now. I'd like to thank Swirly, Doug, for being here judging. And it's been really rough because we all have jobs and everything. But from the judges, from Doug, from Nathan to Brady, also Wes had to fill in last round as well. I'd like to thank him as well. Stream side of things, I'd like to thank Strix. We got Strix, honestly, it was really last second this year. We got Strix literally a week and a half before the event. Strix got the stream together, got the graphics together. So amazing job for Strix doing everything this year, because we wouldn't have had a stream without Strix. Commentators, I'd like to thank Arrow, I'd like to thank you, Joe, for the entire year, for help doing the amazing commentating that you have done. And also like to thank Ian for filling in the last round for Arrow. Great commentator for him as always. Hayden Rigsby, great job doing stuff on the back end. So if you're wondering, he's the guy that's relaying everything from what's going on to back and forth to me, and just making sure we get everything is sync in place between runs and when people are not going. So Hayden, great job this year, man. Nate Stewart. I'd like to thank him for the photography that he has done this year. Great job on him doing the photography. Great photos from him. So I think he will have another one out later this week. Who else am I missing? I'd like to thank Almond for doing this track for this round. Really appreciate him for coming through for Irwindale and also helping getting Miguelo this year ready. Also, another one of our big track editors, John Elgood from KNC Motorsports. Like to give all of them a big shout out for coming in, helping, and doing the amazing track edits and help boosting up the quality of the tracks. So really appreciate you, John, for doing that. Michael Bennis, I'd like to appreciate him for doing the camera work for the cams and everything. Did an amazing job with cams to give to the stream and help give you guys the quality that we have this year. Who else am I missing? I can't forget Steve. I cannot forget him.
No.
Great job. He's been pretty much my right-hand guy. Done a great job keeping in contact with sponsors, keeping me up to date. And also talking to the drivers and relaying feedback back to me. So Steve has done an amazing job this year. So like I brought him in last year, help him learn, and he's learned and he's getting the grasp of things. This year he's doing an amazing job with contacting and being the great PR guy he is. Who else am I missing? Safe in Our World.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would like to appreciate Safe in Our World for help supporting this event. Mental health is something that's really big. It's something that I think everybody should definitely focus on, whether you're a gamer or not a gamer. Like to think that they came in and we met our first goal rate, 570 pounds. Am I correct?
That's where we're at right now. Yeah.
That's great. So that was a great for one of our first charity events that we have done. So I think that was a success. I'm trying to figure out, am I missing anybody else?
Herms, our illustrious professional part-time light man.
I cannot forget Herm. Thank you for the light, for doing whenever you had the time to do the light running for us, for the gate light. Really appreciate you for doing all of that. I'm trying to look who else is on the stream side. Davin has also helped contribute a lot this year as well. Really appreciate him as well contributing. Also, if I'm forgetting anybody else, I'd like to appreciate you guys as well. And I can't forget the drivers and the audience. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and keeping it professional throughout the year as sponsors were watching this year. Sponsors have got back to me throughout the year and they love the quality, they love feedback with the drivers interacting, the audience also interacting and keeping it professional. So I'd like to thank you guys for doing that and keeping professional to help push the esports drifting side of things. So to a couple announcements that I would like to announce. We got 2 series that we're gonna partnering up with. First series that we are going to partner up with is going to be ACDFR. Been in great contact with those guys. They're phenomenal people. They just had their festival about a couple weeks ago. Good organizers. So that will be another way in. If you want to get a license into ESDA, that will be another way in. Next, we do have an to be announced feeder street series that is coming in the coming months or next year. So keep an eye out on that. So we got a couple little things in the off season that we can't really talk about yet, but that's those 2 things that I can talk about. So ACDFR will be another partner series along with IDDS, DCGP. And we got a street series as well that is in the works. Unnamed street series that is in the works.
I hear that all the people working on it are super, super cute as well. So I cannot wait. And again, this has been a magical journey of a season, I gotta say, really. This has been nothing but amazing. So I'm just going through my head, making sure we thanked everyone we needed to thank. We thanked all the sponsors. We thanked the viewers. We thanked the viewers.
Hang on, Joe, because there's a couple things we've kind of forgotten about, haven't we?
There's some things that we might have forgotten about. What did we forget?
Yeah. The stream can hear me. It's fine. You don't have to repeat what I'm saying. So
God, we're not crazy for once.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the voice in their heads. Everybody, hi. My name is Strix. So Di, do you happen to know right now who the team champion is and who the Rookie of the Year is, or is
Yeah.
that going to be announced later?
That will be announced right now. I totally forgot. And I also forgot I left out one of the sponsors too. 3D Rap. Apologies if I forgot to put you guys in it, but also thank 3D Rap. They will be giving out the Akina handbrake. They have been really supportive of us as well through email, that we have got back through email, that they've liked the push of what we're doing for drifting. So thank you, 3D Rap. And back to your question, Strix. Yes. Congrats to Team Erda. Team Erda Esports with Ernestus, Martinez, and Darius. They had one great it was a great season for them. Like, they were sitting at the bottom, like in the trenches, and they turned it around as round 5 and 6 turned it around and came from almost to the bottom of the team standing to coming in and securing the team championship. So give those guys a round of applause. I'm pretty sure Benedictus Chervis is really proud of him as well. The Drift Masters driver, I'm pretty sure they're really proud of him taking home the win for the team championship. And also another guy that has been training with Team Erda that has took the Rookie of the Year is Daniel Andrews. The kid he's a really upcoming star. A lot of Car X guys know who he is, so he came for Car X, and I mean, in his rookie season, coming in straight from another game and doing it and just doing big things, and comes in and takes the Rookie of the Year. So really congrats to Daniel on taking home the $100 prize to stand from next level and getting that Rookie of the Year. Also, again, as everybody figured, congrats to Alexander Element. He's not a unknown name over here, so he's been pretty much top talent anywhere he goes. He's been that guy like everybody's looking at. Okay, he's going to be the guy to watch, and he definitely backed it up this year. So congrats to Alexander Element for taking home the 2022 championship season. It's going to be a really good all season for a lot of these guys to figure stuff out going into 2023, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to try to, go out the Element next year and I guess, try to go contend for the 2023 championship.
Oh, super excited for that. So have we given out everything we know we have to give out at this point?
I want to say, yeah. I want to say that we do.
That's
Have we given our undying love to the fans yet?
Yeah. Well,
I do that every day. Every time I wake up, I open the windows and I give the love.
I also wanted to say something really quick as well. Round 7 means a lot to me because it's a culmination of a lot of different things kind of going haywire, I deal a lot with mental health, struggle a lot with a bunch of different disorders going on. So the fact that I was pulled in as the broadcast producer for this season fairly last second and was capable of ending up here at round 7, putting on a decent show despite the fact that it was plagued today with a bunch of technical difficulties. We still put on a good show and it looked great. The game looks great and all that other stuff because of all the meticulous research into graphic settings and all this stuff I've done. And being able to call myself a professional broadcast producer is thanks to ESDA. It's thanks to Traxion. Thanks to ESDA sponsors like Next Level, 3D Rap, Moza, and all the others like Vosan, VDC, Big Duck Club, who made this whole thing possible. And the thing that I wanted to say is, I know it's easy for people to say, if you're going through it, if you're dealing with mental health issues, I understand that, the thing to do is to talk to people, but I also know from personal experience that it is often very hard to know how to talk to people. And Safe in Our World, the charity that we've been raising money for, is it's a place to find resources on mental illness, on mental health and stuff like that, so you can learn how to talk about what's going on in your life to other people. And not only that, you'd be able to help yourself, but also help other people as well. So that's a tremendous important thing for me, and I'm really happy that we chose this charity for that particular reason, because a lot of people go through this, and me going through a lot of stuff and having this happen and be such a great thing is empowering, you know, because you asked me to do this about a year and a half ago, I would have said, no, I can't. But, you know, the music you're listening to right now, I made that in the span of a week. The graphic design that you see with all the overlays and everything, that one I had to make from scratch. And like, it's just kind of incredible seeing what I can be capable of if, you know, I have a whole team of people believing in myself, and you guys, the viewers, who are listening in and watching in and enjoying what you're watching. You know, without you guys, we're nothing. And thank you guys so much for that. And of course, thank the crew, you know, who work on the production as well. You know, Hayden and Joe and Ian and Keenan and all the rest there. Without y'all being so supportive and giving me the support that I need, that my busted brain really needed, then it would have been a mess, but it wasn't. At least not a big mess. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching this season, and hopefully if my brain doesn't fall apart again, I'll be back next season maybe as a producer. So.
We want you back.
Yep.
We really, really
same.
want you back so damn bad.
And can I add in two?
Go
Can I just add in 2 more people that I forgot?
Yeah.
I also wanted to include Matthias Canero and Josh Oxley. Forgot to include them. We cannot leave them out. Like to appreciate both of those guys for the highlight videos and also the pre-trailer videos and also the season trailer from Josh. So they did an amazing job with the video editing this year. So really like to appreciate Matthias and Josh for on that end doing that. Great job, fellas.
Just amazing. So I hear speak that there's an after party. I heard some drinks are popping off, guys.
Yo, we better get going over
We
there.
better get going over there, guys.
Darn
So
right.
again, thank you so much. I got my party shirt on. I don't know about you guys. We're gonna go raise more money.
Good.
You got one of them t-shirt tuxedos shirts?
I got my I Survived 4 Natural Disasters to Call the World's Greatest Thrift Show of All Time t-shirt.
So again, thank you so much everybody for coming out, hanging out. Thank you again for all 7 rounds of support here on this season, the final round. Again, 2022 ESDA season. And I just, as the last word here, I want to say thank you so much for making it such an amazing season, ready to go. Oh my gosh, and we're gonna go give some love over to DIS Swirly, one of the old guard of drifting time. We're gonna get some doors. I know I'll be driving and claiming my spins are reverse entries and intentional 360s. So go hang out. We're still raising money, and I will talk to you guys all later. Have a wonderful afternoon.
I love you, Joe.
Aw.